everybody, welcome back to Stark Brothers. We are in our pecan scion orchard today, and we were just walking around out here and noticed that the pecans are really getting fully ripe and they're ready to harvest, and some of them are falling on the ground. So I thought we would grab Terry Stark, who's one of our growers here at Stark Brothers, to give us the whole scoop on pecans. She's gonna talk to us about what you might expect if you're growing a pecan, and once you have big, beautiful trees like these, how to harvest them. So Terry, thanks for coming out today.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So what do you have here?
So this is actually a Pawnee pecan, which is a very good seller. It's a very big, nice, has a nice big nut to it. So when you're gonna get your tree, you can either get it, depending on the time of the year, you're gonna get it with leaves on it, or it will be dormant, and that would mean all of this growth would be off. And it's still gonna be, when you get it in the spring or in the fall and it's defoliated, it will come out nice in the spring. But it's an easy start. I'm gonna pull it out of the pot here. And as you can see, it's full of roots. And you're forming a lot more hair roots, and you don't have that long taproot to have to contend with digging a real deep hole or cutting part of it off. This you don't have to. All you have to do is score the roots around the pot, break up that root a little bit so it acclimates into its surroundings, and it will take off. Now, if you had a bare root tree and you were planting it, you would have to go and prune it back at least a third of the way. This, when you get a potted tree like this, there's no pruning to it when you're planting it.
So when I get it at home, I take it out, I score the roots lightly with a knife, and then I don't have to worry about any kind of pruning at all.
Nope.
In the ground it goes.
Yep.
And I can eventually expect to get something 75 to 100 feet tall like these.
Yep, that is right.
Awesome. So when I'm considering growing pecans, what are the things that I need to think about in terms of my zone? Do they need multiple pollinators? Give me kind of the scoop on choosing pecans.
Okay, so know your zone, of course. If you know, there's southern varieties and northern varieties. They're more geared through 7 to 9 zone or 5 to 6 zone. Starking Southern Giant, which this is zoned for zone 6. So as you can see, they're doing very well. Know your space limitations. They get 75 foot tall, so space requirements are 40 to 70 foot apart. So if you're doing planting a variety, you need a type 1 and a type 2.
So the type 1 and the type 2 pecan trees have opposite flowering processes, and that opposite flowering process allows you to get even more pecans than what you could just from a single tree. And I also learned that they're wind pollinated. So they're wind pollinated instead of by your typical bee pollination, so it's a little less to worry about there. But if you get two different types, and we make it really clear on our website what's a type 1, what's a type 2, and what are great pollinators for each other. So once you figure out your space and how many you have room for, you can go and pick from the pollinators that will best suit your climate and your condition.
Okay, so when you're planting this tree, don't fertilize it for at least 30 days, and then you can fertilize it with a nitrogen-rich fertilizer. Don't fertilize after July because you don't want that fresh growth going into the winter months. Also, once they start bearing in that bearing stage, then you want to start putting some zinc sulfate incorporating that too. That'll keep the tree nice and healthy and green, and it will ensure that you're getting a good meat into your nut.
And as they're establishing, I read that you should water a pecan about once a week, that they definitely require a lot of water to get established.
Right, they need a lot of water to get established, and also they're pretty heat tolerant. They like that long growing season, like those long, nice summer months. But if it's going into a really drought period, you need to water them because that helps ensure that you're getting a filled nut. If it's too dry and it goes through a long drought, then it's not going to fill that nut.
So Terry, well, one question before they get to the point where they're actually harvesting, how long does it take? All of our customers want to know. I asked Tabitha, our customer service manager, what is the most common question you get about pecans? And she said, how long till they harvest? So tell us, what's the number?
It can be anywhere, depending on the variety, between 3 to 9 years. So be patient, but it's well worth the weight.
And when they get to the age like this, they're just producing tons and tons of nuts, and then you're glad you made that initial investment. So Terry, when do you know when it's time to harvest your pecans?
Okay, so pecans, you can harvest them anywhere from September to November. It kind of depends on where you are and the zone and the variety. If they're starting to drop on the ground, of course, that's a sure sign. And as you can see, it's starting to open up. The hull is opening up, and you can see that nice pecan inside there. That one you can go and pick right now. There's all kinds of nut crackers out on the market.
Yeah.
I do believe that we have one in our catalog. I was doing this earlier, and they were laughing at me.
How do you crack it, Terry?
When you're hungry and you really want a pecan, you use your teeth.
Just right. Okay, wait,
now
I
this
gotta try
one
it.
is a little bit white yet. I don't think it's quite got the color
Not quite
to it
there.
yet. Okay.
Should we see if mine's
let's see if yours is right. This one has got a little bit more time to go.
All right, here we go. So they're a lot of work, but they're well worth it because they're delicious.
Mm-hmm. And there's, a wide use for them. In any recipe, they're very healthy for you. Mm-hmm. You just can't go wrong with a good pecan.
Certainly not. Do you have a favorite pecan variety?
Pawnee and Kanza are very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So hopefully you learned a little bit of something. I always learn something whenever I have a chance to spend time with Terry. So Terry, thank you for being with us. And order your pecan trees. You're definitely going to want some of these.
Yeah. I see this in a turtle right now.
Look at that.
A piece of turtle candy.
That
yummy.
is beautiful. Delicious. Thanks so much, Terry.
You're welcome.